This is now in Standing Finance Committee. We resume with Head 27, Honourable Member for St. James North.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning to all, and Minister, Member of Parliament for St. Michael, West Central. Welcome to your team as well here. And I wish first to commend your ministry, Minister, Honourable Minister, and to especially commend the initiative of a completely new fish market renovation of the Millie Eiffel Fish Market in Western St. James, one of the hearts of my constituency. In progress right now is the construction of a state-of-the-art fish market, and the fishing industry is, after tourism and perhaps construction, the main economic industry in St. James North. I believe the cost of it is, the overall cost is going to be $2.7 million. It is very much disabilities friendly. Of course, we would have made sure that it is. It has bathroom facilities, changing room facilities for persons with disabilities, disability access. And I believe, Minister, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, or your Port Authority CEO, that it is to be completed in June 2024, June this year, in other words, in 3 months' time. And I would like to know, on behalf of my constituents, whether we are still on course for that. Occasionally I visit myself, and I am assured that it is coming on well, but would just like to know if this deadline in the middle of the year, this year, is still on. My second comment before I ask the question is the need for enhanced community tourism. I know the Honourable Deputy Prime Minister, Leader of Government Business, referenced this issue on Friday. I certainly support it. St. James North, my constituency, is one of the main tourist belt constituencies. And I am fully aware of the importance of the tourist industry to my constituents. That was never demonstrated more than during COVID, when I estimate that 85% of the households in my constituency were affected through loss of employment during COVID because of the virtual shutting down of our tourism and hospitality and entertainment industries. But, Minister, I am of the view that enough tourist dollars that come into Barbados are not spent within the communities, or it doesn't reach our communities. I believe, quite honestly, that perhaps not enough foreign exchange from tourism comes into Barbados in the first place, because, as I understand it, still a lot of the tourists pay for their holidays overseas, and monies may only be transferred as needed to the hotels that are owned to a large degree by foreign interests, when they need, obviously, to pay salaries and to do maintenance, etc. So I'm one of the strong believers, and I would like to see more tourist dollars, more foreign exchange going down into my communities for the benefit of people. And I believe, certainly from my experience too as a tourist, and I've been to, 1/3 of the countries in the world, that there are many tourists who would like a more local experience, to go into the communities, the districts, see how people live daily, see how to play road tennis, to drink coconut water, cut the coconut water. And I'm here calling for more direct benefits to our community.
Honourable member, I'm calling for the direct benefit of you.
Of me asking a question. Yes, sir. With the thrust of our country and other CARICOM countries towards doing greater business with the African continent, Minister, what is the possibility of us having direct flights from Barbados to the African continent within the foreseeable future? Thank you for your indulgence, Honourable Chairman.
Thank you, Honourable Member, and thanks for the kind remarks on behalf of the Ministry's team. You are correct that the Eiffel fish market is due for completion June of this year. I have been advised that construction is going well there, and I'm sure, since you visit the site very often, that you'll be very pleased with the construction to date. It is estimated to cost us $3 million, and we are still within that figure of $3 million. The important thing is that the build-out of the fish market will also have some kiosks at that location. And it's all part, and this is for the benefit not only of members of this Honourable Chamber, but for the benefit of the people of Barbados, that the works undertaken, this $3 million upgrade, which will be a new bill, frankly, is part of the port's corporate social responsibility program. That is an opportunity that the port gives back some of its profits to the community. You will also recall that the port would have completed a fire station at the Bridgetown port, not for the exclusive use of the port, but for the Bridgetown and its environs within a surrounding radius. So we have to, of course, thank the port for staying true to their corporate responsibility and assisting us in this build-out. In addition to that, Honourable Member, you're quite right. Community tourism is a feature of sustainable tourism, and for that reason, it is envisaged that the kiosk that we have there would be an opportunity to bring the community alive. Of course, you would have heard last Friday when we met here about initiatives to be undertaken, including allowing visitors to experience fish boning and the other characteristics of that sector. But it's also important for us to ensure that when we have new initiatives like the William Eiffel Fish Market, once completed, to create a wonderful opportunity where visitors and locals alike can go and have some entertainment and also eat some fresh fish, have it grilled or have it pan-fried, however they like it prepared. So I think that we are moving in the right direction. Of course, once the fish market is completed, it will be a wonderful opportunity for the BTMI to get in there, as well as to assist and to encourage the communities, as I've indicated last Friday, to build out community tourism. With respect to, and I might also add, that is not only the kiosks that we are building at Weston in St. James, we are also going to be constructing kiosks at Pile Bay. And again, it has the same focus. It's not only building out a new facility for fisher folk and others who work in that area, but it's also about creating another visitor experience, or a guest experience as we refer to it, at Pile Bay. So we will have an extension of what you're realizing across Barbados in respect of kiosks. With respect to the question, not enough foreign exchange coming to Barbados, I perhaps might have a view, only because I've spent close to 30 years within the hospitality sector. But I do say that when there are hotel companies, especially those who borrow from the banks or banking institutions or any other financial institution, there are usually covenants associated with loans that are given. And oftentimes a covenant would position the borrower to ensure that all currency is held in accounts in Barbados, whether it be a local denominated account or a foreign exchange account. Obviously, hotels will have their operating expenses that they have to fund. But all I can say to that question is that as long as we are realizing growth, there are other opportunities and mechanisms I'm sure that the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs could also review in order to ascertain and to answer your question in more detail. But I can only tell you from my years within the industry what obtains within especially a publicly traded company. Thank you.
Minister, the issue of Africa, reaching out a bit more.
Thank you. In respect of airlift out of the African continent, we are working we've had a number of discussions with at least 3 entities with a view of building out airlift into Barbados. Those negotiations are ongoing. We firmly believe that there are points in Africa that could redound to our benefit, not only for long stay visitors, but also for the cruise passengers. And therefore, I had discussions recently where I also indicated to cruise lines executives the opportunity where we can drive business from the African continent. It will be a very good and noble idea for visitors and residents who live in Africa to come to Barbados, take a stay, of course, and then cruise the Caribbean and give them the opportunity to experience it. But it is a work in progress, and I do not want to say much more, Honourable Member. You know my style. Once we have it in the bag and it's all completed, then we'll make an announcement. But I'll say this, we have to have a sustainable platform in order to continuously drive business from the African continent, and that is what we're doing now. At the appropriate time, the BTMI will be making an announcement with respect to an officer that we would like to place in that market, because it's important that we do so in order to have a person on the ground coordinating and driving behind the gateway marketing, because if we're going to have a flight coming out of Africa, we have to be in a position to sustain it, and that's very important. It would also create an opportunity if we can get an airline or airlines out of Africa for the connectivity onwards, for example, connectivity onto the United States or the UK. And it would certainly reduce the travel time associated if, for example, any member of this chamber or any member of the public would wish to go to Africa, they would have to go up to United Kingdom, which is approximately 8 hours, and then they will have to go down if they're going to Accra, if they're going to Botswana, if they're going to South Africa. And you could well imagine, depending on the point, you can probably move from 6 hours maybe to 10 hours out of London. So we believe it is also central to what we are building out in Barbados, a hub, not only a hub for the Eastern Caribbean, but a hub for the African continent into Barbados. It also is a wonderful opportunity for us to drive cargo trade from Africa to Barbados. So if we can have the passenger and passenger load factor at a very good rate, and on top of that, if we can have the belly, as they refer to, of the aircraft with cargo is going both ways, I believe it would be a win-win situation for Barbados. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. My second intervention relates to the issue of influencers, using influencers as a marketing tool to bring tourists to Barbados. People have asked me recently if we really believe that we are getting good returns on this. I don't know what are the terms of reference for them, but You see on social media, for example, during crop over, influence is being utilized to try to market Barbados. Could you, through this Parliament, sir, tell Barbadians what really this is about?
Thank you, Honourable Member, of course. Let me hasten to say that not all influencers who come to Barbados that we are paying for, because I know that there's a myth out there that once you see all the influencers out there and they're posting, that somehow the BTMI is footing the bill. I can tell you, including a number of celebrities who were on the island, the BTMI did not pay any monies to them. They came to Barbados, loved Barbados, I would say, enjoyed it, and they did a number of social media postings to the benefit of Barbados, including the famous DJ who came here over the holiday festive period. When we have familiarization trips to Barbados, commonly known as FAM trips, we always include, along with the media contingent, a number of influencers, media specialists, and we are very selective in how we go about with our familiarization visits. Those included on the team would be not only travel agents, travel salespersons or travel counselors from within the United Kingdom market. Depending on the market we are focusing on, we bring them here. And we also bring travel writers, because the benefit of having travel writers would be to expose Barbados as a destination within their publications, for which we can't pay. The other significant fact is that when we have influencers, and the influencers must be dedicated to certain target groups, it also helps us to get the message and to brand Barbados and to put brand Barbados in the marketplace. The only cost to us when they come here is if we have to accommodate them and if we have to provide meals for them. And we do that within a very short window. But believe you me, when I tell you as an industry veteran or a former executive, it is worth it. Hotels also do it. They have familiarization visits to Barbados, and they do the same thing. So we're going to continue to focus on not only influencers, but other media personnel, and of course the people who make the difference and sell Destination Barbados, the people who work in tour operator-based companies, and those who work in travel agent online, and those who have the physical presence. So we will continue to do so, but I thought it best to let you know that not every influencer who comes to Barbados, and certainly the last set that you would have seen posted, and I really want to take this opportunity as well to thank them, because what they did for Barbados, like I said earlier, we can afford to pay for it within the realities of our budget. So big thank you to them. I would like many more to come to Barbados, enjoy Barbados, and continue to post all the positives that they posted about Barbados online, because it, once again, helps us to support. I mean, when you think about what we're doing, we're building out airlift capacity. And once we have airlift capacity into Barbados, it is also important that we do whatever we have to do behind the marketing gateway. And therefore, the influencers would be best positioned to help us. And therefore, we welcome them. And like I said, I would like even more to come to Barbados. Thank you.
Thank you for that clarification, Honourable Minister. And Honourable Chairman, my final intervention relates to people with disabilities and tourism. Honourable Minister, you would recall last year during estimates, I raised issues as to the need for employment of more persons with disabilities within the tourist industry, hospitality industry, entertainment industry, and the need for us to become, or for our tourist product, for which you're responsible, to be more disabilities friendly, so that we can attract more people with disabilities, international travelers, of which there are many, and of which they spend to a significant degree a lot of foreign exchange, because a lot of these individuals have acquired a disability through some negligence, active negligence, whether road traffic, accident, medical, whatever, and get large personal injuries claims. And if, sir, you can give a report on what progress may have been made in this regard since last year when we discussed this issue during the estimates debate.